And paradoxically, that's what they end up feeling, right? Shame and guilt.
Right.
And the other piece is there is a moment. What addiction comes? What kind of thing comes to your mind?
Gambling, let's just say.
Gambling. There is a point that you are enjoying it.
Hmm.
There is a point where you are having a really, really bad time. You are not enjoying it anymore. You are losing the money for rent and your
Hmm.
car payment.
Hmm.
You are feeling like crap because you see yourself doing this and you keep going.
Because there's that unrealistic hope.
That's part of it.
Right.
But for me, that hope is not only to winning.
Mm-mm.
There is something happening
Oh,
in
yeah.
that is pushing you beyond pleasure to um, to keep going when it's painful. For me, that excessive part is what I like to analyze more, because that's where the singularity of each person, each comes.
Have you ever thought of addiction can also be subconsciously not wanting to live? Slow
Like a
suicide?
death drive.
Slow suicide, like eating disorders.
Sure.
It's a very painful suicide, and I've had patients who said this to me.
Hmm.
I'm weak. I don't have the strength to kill myself, so I'm just going to let my eating disorder kill me. And they have succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see that happening
Yeah.
very, very easily, because what you are basically doing is falling into some level of um,
Self-disruption,
yeah,
right?
it's just cycle of
Mhm.
but um, interestingly, in the same way, I have seen people doing that to feel alive.
Just to stay alive,
To Yeah,
to
well,
feel
to
alive.
feel alive and to stay alive, right?
Wow,
That
yeah.
what you were saying before, like that desperate
Hmm.
need to feel something.
To feel
Yeah.
alive, yeah.
So this is, we're just talking to people, and we came up with so many different things that could happen when somebody is presenting a symptom like an addiction. How could you possibly talk about one universal truth and treat equally every single person who is dealing with addiction?
You think they're treated equally?
I think this is like what 12 steps programs do. This is what,
Are you a
like,
believer of those programs?
I know people who have found help there, and it helped, and I have people who found it like really damaging to
Hmm.
them, hurtful. But I say that if there wasn't a need, those programs would
Yeah.
have
I mean,
been
they do
dead.
their thing.
They have a community
Yeah,
there, which is
they
not a
do.
minor thing. It's
Yeah,
clinically speaking, I find it completely opposite to what I
it
believe in.
is.
Yeah, right. But
It is.
I cannot reject the experience of some clients
Yeah,
who
yeah.
say it saved my life.
Yeah, I've had clients who said that too.
Yeah,
In the private practice that I was working with, there is a man who Alcohol Anonymous programs, saved his life.
yeah.
Is now a sponsor and has been sober for over 11
It
years.
gives them some
It does.
meaning.
It does. And if that's going to help, let it be. And if gambling addiction, from that you turn into a shopaholic, I'll take that versus
Sometimes it's about harm reduction. I
it
agree
is
with
harm
that,
reduction. Yeah.
and I think that one of these things that we should be more mindful of is, in the same way that I don't like imposing my preconceived notions, or books that I read and
Hmm.
courses that I did on somebody, my idea of healing also should shape when each person's possibilities and needs. Some people
Hmm.
come from literally being about to hang themselves,
Hmm.
right? And this is more so for men. uh, if I found, after some work, that this person found some motivation to do certain work during the day, if I found that he is able to connect with some other person, that you know he's been a couple of weeks that he hasn't
Yeah.
thought about killing, I'm not wanting this person to be happy and excited about everything, because probably the level of pain that he has
Yeah.
experienced, it's beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
Right? So I my hopes for him are my hopes. I have to accept that that person is going to heal as much as they are able
Yeah.
to heal,
Yeah.
and I will do my best in, be there and push them a little bit more,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to understand our limitations. We are therapists. We are not angels. We are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like saviors of anybody.
Yeah.
Most of the people see us once a week, and
Even though it
then
might feel really good to, have that kind of validation as any human.